G'day, it's Michael here from Fisher McFishface. I'm here at the Gold Coast Seaway and I want to give you a tour of the whole length of the Seaway. Today the conditions are just good enough. I'll show you. I'm here on the beach side of the Seaway to start. Normally you'll start on the inside of the rock wall, but the conditions are just good enough that I reckon I can swim all the way around. So I'm going to show you every segment, show you what wildlife is there and teach you about it. See you in the water. Alright, I'm in the water. It's a bit murky, plenty of waves, so I'm almost out the back. Hopefully it clears up a bit and I'll show you what's underneath. So just a reminder, if you don't want to face waves, like I did going on the beach side, you just need to start on the inside of the seawall at one of the steps there, and it's much nicer really. I just wanted to show you every part, and that's why I swim all the way around. So you can see here we've got diamond fish. There's plenty of schools of fish on the beach side. I've seen massive schools of mullet, but a lot of the bigger fish are actually on the other side anyway. Alright, I'm past the breaking waves. It's still a bit murky, but I think as I get further to the end of the rock wall, it'll get better. Plenty of fish here though, I'll show you. So you can see that the rocks have actually got a lot of algae cover on them, especially the shallow ones. As you go deeper, they get a bit more bare. There's a banded scaly fin, I think. It's got like an orange face. A few sergeants, surgeon fish, and of course the diamond fish. They're everywhere in the Seaway. Here we've got what I think is a Gunther's wrasse, and you can see that the algae growth and marine growth is actually quite prolific on the beach side of the Seaway. You get less of that on the rocks on the inside of the Seaway, but the compensation is you get a lot more interesting fish on the inside. So this is still on the beach side. We've got some big surgeon fish. Alright, starting to clear up a bit. But you just got to watch out for those waves that come around every now and then. So keep popping your head up over here. And now keep in mind, this is actually a spearfishing zone. So people can spearfish up until the end of the rock wall. Up to there. As soon as you get around that rock wall, you can't spearfish. And that's where it's great for snorkeling, because all the big fish know that they can't get taken there. I'm getting a bit deeper water here, and the clarity's getting better too. It's still a bit of surge around, which is churning up some of the algae pieces in the water. We've got some convict surgeon fish there, and quite a few other fish in the shallows. I wouldn't go that shallow though, especially with the surge. More diamond fish and a few sweep in there too. Yeah, lots of schooling fish on this beach side of the Seaway. To be honest, not all that many big fish, which is what the spearfishermen want, and this is the only place they can go. So it really is a snorkeler's place, the Seaway. Alright, I'm near the end of the seawall now. You need to be super careful here, because you get some mighty currents and sloshing waves. So I'm actually going to go with the current pretty quickly and just let it take me around. I'll keep the camera rolling so you can see what it's like. Now this gets treacherous, and I want to show you this just so you realise that it's worth it just to step in on the entrance side of the Seaway and not to risk this swim around. I've actually fast forwarded it here because it took me quite a while to get around. And you can see those waves are just pounding and sloshing around. It's hard to keep your bearings. You just got to rely on the current really to pull you around. So yeah, you've got to be super careful if you do this. You're a good swimmer, understand the ocean well. Even then it's a bit dangerous, so I really would recommend, unless it's dead calm, to just get into the steps on the Seaway river entrance side, and it's much calmer and you get better fish anyway. Oh, it's chaos here. So right now I'm right at the point, but as soon as you get around there, for those who are keen to actually give swimming this a go and do this in good conditions of course, as soon as you get around to the inside of the seawall, it just gets much calmer. So we've got a big school of I think a drummer there, You get big schools of bigger fish as soon as you get around the corner. Obviously these fish know that they're safe from the Spearos there. Here we've got some eastern pomfret, I think they're called. They school in big numbers towards that end of the seaway. And a spotted scat through there too.
Just need a cormorant, it's just got a feed.
So these seabirds, cormorants, occasionally you'll see them in the seaway, especially on the inside of the seaway. The best time is in winter when you get huge schools of yellowtail scad, which is a baiting fish, or bait ball fish. And they're in thousands of numbers, and you can see these cormorants actually dive and hunt them underwater very close.
I'm now a little ways in from the edge of the seaway, and I'm a bit tucked in now. And out here you get a lot of algae on the rocks and lots of schools of fish. I'll show you down to some bigger schools.
As you can see, there's a bit of algae and marine growth on the rocks still because we're closer to the ocean. Here we go, we've got a big school of, again, more of those eastern pomfret fish. Lots of diamond fish. They'll be all through the seaway, the diamond fish. And there's that algae, and you can see it's quite thick, and the fish really like that. It's quite a pretty place to snorkel up near the end. And again, this is on the seaway entrance side. Now, right near the tip of the seaway, you tend to get more of these ladder wrasse. Now, the colour's not great here because of my angle, but they can be a bright orange and blue colour. Now, down here is a little cave. I spotted the tail of a wobbegong, so I thought I'll stick my camera in, see if I can get some footage of that wobbegong shark having a rest.
I don't know if you can see that, but there was a wobbegong under the rocks. It's very much tucked in there. I didn't want to get too deep with the surge at the moment. But you'll see that all sections of the seaway, you get little wobbegongs and some big ones hanging around in the rock cracks. Occasionally, you'll even see them swim out past you, which is nice. Now, where I'm at the moment, a bit further down the seaway, you get a few fishermen, and I'm approaching the first set of stairs. And halfway between here and the edge of the seaway, you'll get some weird currents. Sometimes you get currents that pull you back, sometimes they pull you forward. It's not even, it's a bit odd even though I'm on high tide. But I'm going to try to push through this and try and get to the main stairs before the tide turns too much. And then hopefully I've still got a good shot at diving down to see the groper.
So I've slowed the footage right down here because you'll see a little glimpse of a juvenile damselfish, or a juvenile scaly fin, I think is the actual fish it grows into. Spectacular colours. It actually grows into this big dull black fish, so they're much cooler when they're juvenile. Now here's that cormorant. It obviously swam around me or flew past me and re-dove, and this time it dove very close, so I got some pretty close footage of it scavenging around. Now I did see it eating a fish the first time I saw it on the surface, so while you might not see them catch things all that frequently, they do indeed catch the fish. Here's some more schools. It's actually I think it's a Whitley Sargent that you can see in front of frame. There's a speckled butterfly fish, that pale yellow one. And here I've got some very close footage of a spotted scat. You tend to only see these fish in summer. I rarely see them in the seaway during winter. This is a very common fish. All time of the year you'll see these crested morwong. And yellow stripies, another very common fish. They can be in fairly large schools in sort of rock caves or darker places. Here's a barracuda. It's a yellowtail barracuda, a very small type. And this very colourful fish is a sunset wrasse. Now you'll see occasionally sunset wrasse in the seaway. I tend to see them closer to the ocean side of the seaway walls. But the other wrasse you'll see that looks similar, but it's more of a green and pink coloration or blue, is the moon wrasse. There we go, there's actually some moon wrasse right there. They're the juvenile form in the green with the yellowtail. And those tiny little bluefish, they're spectacular, neon damsels. So you'll see them occasionally scattered around the seaway. Here's a strange fish. It looks almost like an eel. It's a smooth flute mouth. They've got this huge, long, slippery body. Here we've got a trevally. I think it's a bluefin trevally. I'm not quite sure. I don't know my bigger fish all that well. And this is actually one of my favourites in the Seaway. It's a yellow tip Gregory. It's like a type of damselfish, and it stays around the same areas, the same rocky areas, which it actually has its nest or its little patch of algae that it eats. And so they're easy to film because they stay in the same area. Here we go, massive school of stripies. They'll let you get very close with the camera, which is very nice. Here's a common one in the deeper sections of the Seaway, a gold-spotted sweetlip. And this one's less common, but quite spectacular. It's called a graphic tuskfish. It's very similar to the black spot tuskfish, which is a blue colour. And here we have another wrasse just coming by. So as you can see, it's quite picturesque on the surface, especially near the ocean side of the Seaway. Here we've got, it's a type of wrasse. I can't remember if it's a bluehead wrasse or some other wrasse.
Well, I'm here at the steps now. The current's settled down a bit, although I do know that the high tide turn is, I think I'm just past it, so the current's still got a bit of time before it swaps, but I'm going to work pretty hard to try and get that next set of steps so I can show you what's under the pipes. Alright. Also along here, you'll often get sea turtles, so make sure you keep an eye among the rocks. Often they'll actually come from the shallow spots and swim their way out.
Now, unfortunately, I didn't see any sea turtles today, but I'd say 50% of the time when I go snorkeling at the Seaway, I see a sea turtle. And when I see one, usually I see 2 or 3. They are spectacular creatures to swim with. Here's a cute little stars and stripes puffer. You'll see these in deeper areas. They'll hug the bottom of the Seaway, and you can get quite close to them. This is a red spot wrasse, and if you see it in the right sunlight, it's actually got these bright cyan blue stripes on it. I think I might have had some better footage later on in the dive. Lots of juvenile sergeant fish. I think most of those would be sergeant majors. They're the ones with the black bands and a yellow tinge near the top. And we've got some luderick and some rabbit fish. These sorts of fish all hang around the shallows near the rocks. I believe that's a vagabond butterfly fish. And you'll see butterfly fish of several different types in the Seaway. And these guys are the sergeant majors that are actually looking after their nests. Now here we've got a blue streak cleaner wrasse. They have an important role in the Seaway. They often clean dead skin and parasites off other fish. And this is a black spot toby. They've got these bright iridescent lines on them. And a very similar fish to the black spot toby is a black saddle toby.
We're about halfway to the next set of steps. There's 2 blue angelfish. See if I can get a closer look.
Yeah, the footage I've got here wasn't the best. These were quite shy, but if you look at some of my other videos, you'll see some spectacular footage of these blue angelfish. They really are iconic in the Gold Coast Seaway, and very often, just like here, you'll actually see them swim in pairs. Occasionally, one of them will actually be a juvenile, which is a much deeper blue with bright white stripes. Here we've got quite a large school of luderick. They swarm in the shallows, and you get a lot of fishermen trying to fish for these, but the luderick just aren't that interested. They're too clever. Now, this one I've slowed down. It's a 6-bar wrasse, and it's got almost disco colours on it, like bright green and pink. quite a spectacular fish.
Wow, not often you see him. There's an octopus down there. See if I can get some closer footage.
If you get to see an octopus in the Seaway, it is quite a treat. I'm sure there's lots there all the time, but they're just so well camouflaged. It's very hard to find them. You can see this one has actually changed its skin texture to be little frilly sections. And you might not believe me, but I'll show you another shot where you'll see smooth skin. It can literally change its skin when it wants to. So there's the frilly patches. You can see it's almost pulsing and or slightly changing its colours from dark to bright. I think this is a shot where you get to see the darker colour of it. That's a type of cod, I think it's a peacock cod. They often hang around the dark areas. See that darker smooth colour? And now it's starting to go lighter and have the frills.
He's not very playful today. Occasionally you'll get an octopus that's actually quite interactive, but still awesome to see one. So I'm here right now near the sea tower. The octopus is actually in some rocks. Right. Right in there. Alright, push on, see if we can get to the pipes.
And make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I have more octopus footage that I saw later on. This is a species I've never seen before. It looks like a black spot toby, but it's got that fantastic white stripe through the middle. Now this is another butterfly fish species. I think it's the Klein's butterfly fish. At this section of the Seaway you'll often get a variety of butterfly fish. And again, more of those sergeant major fish around their nests. And that blue one, that's actually a moon wrasse in the mature form.
Near the pipes, there's actually a smaller pipe before you get to the main ones, the stairs. So I'll quickly show you that first.
Now once you get to this area, you'll get a lot more snorkelers, especially on a day like today when the visibility is so good. So there would have been 30, 40 snorkelers at least in the Seaway today. It was a really popular spot, especially on the inside of the seawall. On the beach side, I was pretty much by myself. So again, here we see the nests of these sergeant majors, and they're looking after their little nests of eggs. And this is the first pipe as you're coming landward of the Seaway. We've actually got some, I think those are a type of snapper, maybe 5-line snapper, something like that. And some stripies, a dusky butterfly fish, and that darker one, I can't remember, but I think it's quite a rare fish for this area.
Alright, we've arrived at the main stairs at the pipe. I'm going to swim over the outside of the pipe area, dive down. I'll actually set my camera up as a tripod so you can see what swims under there for quite some time. Alright, let's check it out.
Yeah, unfortunately I didn't set my tripod, which is just my GoPro stick. I can fold it out into a tripod. I didn't set it up because it was a bit too murky at the pipe and there were quite a few scuba divers and other free divers, and the scuba divers aren't the type who will steal stuff. They're often very friendly, but what they'll probably do is pick it up and say it's lost property, and yeah, I'd rather just keep my camera with me, so I didn't end up leaving it down there. So you can see a lot of scuba divers here. I'm starting to work my way to where the pipe is, and if it's a bit murky, the scuba divers actually give you a clue of where the pipe is because they love to hang around it. Here we've got some other free divers, all kitted out with their gear. They're diving down now, so I thought I'd just film them while I relax and get my breath. And keep in mind that diving down to the pipe, you really do need to be quite an advanced, it helps to have done a course on free diving and have done some practice holding your breath safely on land before trying to do this in the water. There's also some challenges with equalizing, and you'll see this dive here, I get it halfway down and then I stop because I didn't equalize properly, which means get the air passages right around my sinuses and my ears, and I had to come straight up. Took some time, equalized properly this time, and that way my ears didn't hurt, and then I could dive all the way down to the pipes. And Sometimes you get this massive Queensland groper or a couple of them under these pipes. Unfortunately, I didn't see it today. It could have been there, but I didn't explore the whole pipe area because I was just a bit murky. But we do get these massive brown sweet lips, a couple of flathead you might have seen earlier, and you often do get mulloway in this under this pipe as well. So there's lots of larger fish that like to hang out down there. I've got lots of other videos where I film those larger fish, so make sure you check out my channel for that.
I tried. My ears are actually getting a bit sore because I've still got a bit of a sinus infection. So I got down once, there's some brown sweet lips and big flathead, but the normal mulloway and groper I couldn't find. It's a bit murky there too, so I'll just have a look around the main steps to finish up. There's actually a lot of wildlife just here, but if you can't get the other places, just check the main steps around the rocks, the shallow spots, and there's heaps of fish. I'll show you.
So a lot of people who go snorkeling at the Seaway literally jump in at the main steps and just snorkel on the surface within 20-50 meters of the stairs, just in this area. And they don't even have to dive down deep, and they still see plenty of very interesting fish. So if you're a beginner snorkeler, that's the thing to do. If you go with some people who are experienced and just snorkel at the surface, you'll see all these spectacular fish without having to dive down deep or get into, dangerous surging wave areas. Here we've got a surge wrasse, which looks like a ladder wrasse, but it's got bright pink and green aqua colours. I've really struggled to get close footage of one of these because they tend to be very shy, so I was pretty stoked to get close to that one. And here we've got some better footage of a red spot wrasse with those bright blue lines on it.
I think the tide's probably already turned and the current's on its way, but because I've got some time left and it's still relatively clear, I'll show you the next stretch of the Seaway, which to be honest I don't think it's the best, but I have seen some interesting eels along here and lots of flathead, so let's have a look, and hopefully I can get to the other set of stairs before the current gets crazy.
You can see it's a little bit more murky in this area of the dive, and that's probably because of the tide too. It's later in my dive and I'm past the high tide mark now, so it's starting to get the murkier water coming out from the river. This shot here just shows you the landscape of this sort of area. There's only a very slight drop off. It's quite a shallow area even further out, and you get more of this seagrass algae on the bottom too. You've got what I think is a Moses snapper. And a threadfin butterfly fish with the bright yellow tail. Quite an iconic butterfly fish, which you can see in many other estuaries in southeast Queensland. And here we have lots of goatfish. They've got these two little barbells under their chin. Neon damsel. Another butterfly fish. I think that's a vagabond butterfly fish. I'm not quite sure what this one is. I think it's a type of wrasse, but I'd never seen it before, so I saved some slow-mo footage of it so I can identify it later. And here we have the iconic crested morlong. These are all over the Seaway, and often they will let you get fairly close if you approach them nice and calmly.
Worthwhile. There's an octopus. This one's in a den. I'll show you what it looks like. If you have a look out for these dens, a good way to spot an octopus.
Okay, so these dens, you'll often find a little hole under a ledge. Here we go, and then some rocks or shells scattered around the outside of that hole. And often is the case that you'll find an octopus inside that little den or near the den wandering around. You can see this little one, it was quite shy today, but I did see another one, which is not too far away in the video, and it was actually quite playful. Here we've got I believe it's a juvenile dusky butterfly fish, and a blue street cleaneras. And this one is a mangrove jack. So the fishermen love to catch this one. It's quite a fighter, I've heard. Some more spotted scat. And some convict surgeonfish.
This is insane. I found another octopus. He's in a little den and he looks much more curious. So I'm going to set the tripod up and see what he does.
Now this was an awesome experience. You can see that den again with those rocks that he's probably brought out from inside the den as he's dug the hole. And it was quite curious. So I swam down holding my breath and just wiggled my finger around. Now you would never go out and touch a creature, but you can see what I've done is I've just sort of, put my hand near it to give it the option to reach out. And obviously it was quite curious. And it actually reached out. I could feel it suck onto my glove, which was pretty cool. You can see it actually, this is when I swam away a little bit. I like to do this with a creature if I'm interacting with it, just to sort of check if it is interested in me or not. And you can see how it came forward a bit. To me, I'm thinking, maybe it is quite interested. So I dove down to see if I could get it to latch onto my hand once more. There you go. They're incredibly curious creatures. There's a fantastic documentary called My Octopus Teacher on Netflix. If you haven't seen that, I recommend you watch that. It's incredible insight into these creatures.
That was cool. He reached out and touched my hand. Now I've got gloves on. Pro tip, always wear your gloves. Just means the wildlife doesn't get damaged, and neither do you. That's really cool. 3 octopus in one day.
And I went down to film one more time. That was a cool octopus. So I thought I'd seen enough cephalopods for the day. Believe it or not, there was some squid. They could be quite curious. From a distance though, they don't tend to get close, unless they're juvenile squid. If you ever see juveniles, which are only the length of your finger, they can get very close to you, and they're very interesting to interact with. But yeah, I was amazed at how many cephalopods I saw today. Here we've got a little, I think it's a grubfish or lizardfish. I got some slow-mo footage here, so you can see just how quickly it repositions itself. It's very well camouflaged.
Well, I've got 4% battery left. I made it to the stairs. It's been a spectacular dive today. I'm glad I went the extra section. So I hope that's useful for you if you're keen to snorkel at the Gold Coast Seaway. And yeah, just make sure you check the weather before you go. Tides, waves, wind, and time of day too. Morning's usually better. Yeah, it's a lot of good fun.